Greetings viewers and welcome back to a new video. Today we are taking another look at the no video PS2. Everyone in the comments pointed to one type of component failing and I have my own hunch. So let's test it out and see if we're right. Alright, so before we get started, I do want to say that what's really cool about doing YouTube is that even though I've tried to pass on my knowledge to my audience also passes their knowledge on to me and makes me a better repair person, I guess you could say. So, in the last video, a lot of people had a lot of opinions about what they think happened, and they were basically trying to pass on their knowledge. So a lot of people in the comments, and I'll have little snippets as we go along here, were saying that these network resistors do have a tendency of going bad. One person mentioned the ones between the emotion engine and the graphics synthesizer. Another one, I think, said near the video encoder that they have replaced them as well. So it's really cool, like, when people pass on their own experience as well and help the community keep these things alive. So that's what we're going to do first. I still personally think that it might be this capacitor here. I think it's this one here, if I remember right. I have notes down for everything. So, yeah, so I think what we'll do is we'll test these first, and I'll show the schematics in a second, and then we'll take it from there. So these are all the ones that I want to test here. So, RB109, I don't believe is one we have to test. We can test it anyway. Oh yeah, it does go in between the motion engine and the graphics synthesizer. So I got to test these, and here's where they correspond to in the schematic. So RB112, obviously is right here, but it also says the value of what we're looking at in ohms. So we got 47 ohms we're going to be looking for, and that's pretty much it on every single one of these going across. So that makes that a lot easier. Now I also want to check the ones. There's one next to the digital RGB encoder. Actually, I think there's multiples. Yeah. So we gotta test these. Oh shit! I printed out the wrong thing here. Yeah, I accidentally printed out the wrong. I wanted RB242, 244, and 246. But I accidentally misread right here. It was just R244, 245, and 246. So I'll have to pull up my tablet for that one, and then we'll try and find that. But yeah, it should be for that. Next to the RGB encoder, and then we got the digital video encoder. And that particular one, what I'm actually looking for is 296. 298 will test, and 297, but they're on the back next to the digital video encoder. So 296, 298, and 297 is here somewhere. Up right there. So that's what we're gonna be checking those when we check this, and then capacitor 268 is the one we want to replace. So what we will do is just to make this easy, because these components are very, very tiny, I'll pull out the microscope so then we can probe them more efficiently. Okay, quick addendum. From the last video, I still have the printouts from that. RB242, 244, and 246 are here. So those are 47 ohms as well. So yeah, and then they go into the digital video encoder, and then it looks like they go for the RG and B signals. I'm tracing them, well, at least one of them I can see, and that goes into RNG. So yeah. All right, so we're gonna set these to ohms, and then every one of these is gonna get tested, and they all should be 47 ohms. Yeah, 47.6, 47.3, 7.6, 47.5, 47.6, 47.2, 47.5. That kind of did a little weird thing there, but that's fine. 47.8. So yeah, they should all be good on this one. Even though it's a little off, that's totally fine, as long as it's not way off. All right. 48. 48. 48. I thought we had a broken trace there. But yeah, 48.5. 47.5. Yeah, 47.2. Yep, that's good. Good. 48, that's good enough. It's close. Good. Good. This microscope definitely makes things a lot easier. Wish I was zoomed in a little more. Good. 22. That's good. I mean, we're here. Might as well check these as well. Oh, that's something. Oh no, it's good. It's probably just positioning of the probe. Let me move this over a little bit. All right, so we got 3 more of these arrays, network resistors to go. 47, 48, 47.56, 47.2, good, 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 48.2. Yeah, I have a feeling all these network resistors are good. Good, 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 48, good, good, close enough, 48, good, and 2 more, good, and last one. Good. Okay, so all the network resistors between the emotion engine and the graphics synthesizer are good. So we're going to move on to the next set. All right, so the next one that I want to do is these 3 here, which are R242, 244, 246. And they are located right here, and they're all 47 ohms as well. And now these are going from the digital RGB encoder to the digital video encoder IC205, which should be on the back actually. So yeah. Yep. 47.9. These are actually kind of difficult to get to because of the capacitors are in the way. Yeah, 48. 47. Guess I could just put the probes in the vias too. But I just want to get as close to the component as possible. 48, 48, 47. Okay, so this network resistor is good. 48, 47.6, 48, 47.8, 47.9, 48, 47.6, 47.8. Yeah, come on. 47.3. Okay, so this one's good. All right, we got one more here to test. 47.7, 48, 47.5, 47.6, 47.9, 47.3, 47.8. I let it settle out. 47.8. Okay, so these 3 network resistors are good. All right, now moving on. All right, so the next one we're going to be doing is RB298 and RB296. Now, if I just have the feeling that if there's any of them, if one's going to be bad, it's probably going to be 296 because that's where the video signals go through. So, yeah, so this one's supposed to be 75 as well, plus or minus 5.5%. So, yeah, so this one's actually on the back of the board. So I'm going to flip it over and then we'll probe that. Because it's actually next to IC205, which is a digital video encoder, which is on the back. These are the three network resistors we are looking at. So this one is RB298, RB296, and then this one should be, I can't read, RB297. All right, so these two will be 75 ohms, and this one's 180-ish. And let me put the multimeter where you guys can see it. All right. 75.2. That's open. I'll have to check that. Oh, you know what? I think that goes to ground. Hold on. Yeah, according to the schematic, one of these is tied to the ground plane, so that one actually should be probably all right. Unless we get multiple ones that do that. 75.1, right on the money. 75.1. 75.2. This one's probably 79.3. That one is also open. Yeah, and that's tied to ground. Okay, so that one should be all right, actually. Okay. $75.4. All right, so that one seems okay. Okay, we got 180.3. 180.3. 180.7. And 80.2. Okay. So that one is also correct. So thank you everybody so much for the suggestions and your insight on what you've done to get this kind of situation working again. But it does not unfortunately seem like the network resistors were the issues. But I think we'll give that capacitor swap a try, because just because it sends a signal eventually, like the capacitor charges up, I kind of wonder if maybe that might be the issue. So hopefully it is. Otherwise, at this point, I don't really know where else to go from here. So let's go back under the microscope and then we'll swap that capacitor out and see what happens. So the exact capacitor we need to remove and replace is this one right here. We'll start off by putting a little liquid flux down. I think I'm going to add a little solder here. We don't need much. I'm gonna put a little too much solder on. Also, the capacitor is a little bigger than original, but that should be alright. Alright. Seems to be secure. Okie doke. Let's plug this in and see what happens. Alright, moment of truth. Okay, so we got the red light. Let's boot it up. We're on the right input, right? Yeah, EV2. Well, I want to see if it still does the same thing as before where the signal comes back. And so the graphics synthesizer is also not really hot or anything like that. And see, it just initialized again. That is very odd. I wonder if we could just be having a GPU issue. Like maybe the graphics synthesizer just went bad. And that's all it really is. Alright, so I want to do an experiment here. So this is the board that came out of the PS2. This is the donor board that I was going to use. And I still have it here. Very dusty, whatever. So I want to do a little bit of a comparison and contrast. See, well, one, if this actually works. And two, just want to kind of see some stuff. Oh, whoops. You know what? It does help if I plug it in. Plug it into the TV, I mean. Okay, that should be better. All right, let's see. I just want to see how hot this graphics synthesizer gets. It actually feels like it's warming up more than that one does. And it's not like blistering hot, but it does feel a little warmer. I just want to test this real quick. See if this was actually any good or not. It's 250, 212. Yeah, this cap is close enough to 220. Yeah, this thing was actually good. Ugh. That stinks. Alright, so we can do one more Hail Mary. Every one of these caps feeds a different type of video signal. What we can try to do is swap each of these out and then just see what happens. Alright, with the new capacitors in, let's see what happens. The red light. Yeah, still nothing. Ah, damn it, that's unfortunate. Oh man, that's a shame. I really did believe that we were going to have this thing fixed today. I'm thinking that there may be a deeper failure somewhere in the board. Maybe the graphics synthesizer went bad, or an encoder, or a completely different IC. Which leads me to what I decided to do. If I test further and find, say, a bad chip, I'd need to remove one from a donor board in order to get this board repaired. And the donor board that I have here, this is fully functional. So I know it's not the decision to bring this story to the happy ending that you all like to see, but I'm just going to do a board swap. Plus, I need to get this PS2 finished and out the door, so this just makes the most business sense in terms of how I spend my time. So this board is pretty dirty, so I'm going to go throw this in the ultrasonic cleaner and clean the rest of the system and get it off to a new home. But don't worry, I will be having some new projects coming up, so if you aren't subscribed, get subscribed. Like the video if you got any kind of value out of it, and check out my recently launched website. I'll be adding refurbished systems, accessories, games, and I do offer repair services there as well, so check it out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.